All right, good afternoon. Welcome to the Sunday special edition of the Associated Guests. I, as always, am your host, Alfie Animus, here at the Bear in Mind channel. Today, we're going to finish the fan request. Sorry it took so long, but this one's for you, Shapeshifter. We're going to finish this, and then if we have time, get into a couple of other little things here. So let's get started on this. The reason, look, I'll just say this. One, I don't like the "I'm better than you" type situations, and I absolutely despise reality TV. I'll watch it begrudgingly, especially if you're ever so kind as to watch things for me or watch me in general. So at fan request, I will begrudgingly watch it, but it's only out of love. Just know that, because I absolutely I don't like the "I'm better than you" nana boo boo shit, and I don't like reality TV at all. That being said, but I do like Tectone, and I love my my hardcore 2 fans especially. So here we go.
The simp to take care of them. That's what happens every single time, and then they usually end up on the island to keep the men underneath their finger. That's usually what happens, and what's crazy is how effective that works. It's true.
All the decisions we've made thus far have been made collaboratively. We've not needed to conform to a system where there's a leader.
Your disorganized group with no leader is the reason why you can't even figure out how to purify water,
Tell him,
which is
Jamal.
what led to this.
Did that really just drink seawater? Like that's gonna do anything to quench her thirst?
Call the medics! She's Fran! Fran's fainted!
We're winning.
Think before you sleep, rip them apart. Turns out the women that were given a pig that wasn't native to the island because they were so at surviving. Please link that in the Daily Scramble. I would love to watch that. I would love to watch that.
I don't want to drink the water. It tastes
Yeah, no, why would you?
The water was not an issue.
It's 2:30 now. No sign of a fire.
Hold on, did they give them the tools to do it? That's interesting.
I cannot believe these have a group of 16 women and they can't even start a fire when retards from like 4,000 years ago could do that in like 5 minutes. I actually kind of like the water. Well, that's because you drink piss.
One, retards back then actually, that's how they had to have fire, because they didn't have lighters.
In nature, like really just like feet in the dirt. I think me and Sophia would really love doing that.
If I hadn't turned up today, and I turned up in 6 months, I bet these guys would be in pretty good shape.
It feels like a purpose on this island. It's just to be dehydrated.
Yeah, maybe if we cry, that'll fix our issues. Oh my God. Can we just lock in?
It doesn't seem productive.
So thirsty.
Kind
Women have now been without water for more than 48 hours, and they are dangerously dehydrated.
I feel really drained.
Damn.
Fuck is that? Is that a big ass
This is
fish?
so good.
Another day, and once again, no breakfast.
Pass me a bit. It's like snake crisps. Like pork, it's very like pork scratching.
Almost 2 weeks without a meal. The group is at the point of
2
starvation.
weeks?
If they don't eat soon, there's a genuine risk their organs will start to shut down. But when the pounds are dropping off because of starvation and malnutrition,
You're in a vibrant forest on the beach with access to fishing equipment and an ocean, and you have
Okay, now if they gave you fishing equipment, hey, Yanuka, good afternoon. Or what time is it there? Curious.
had no food in 2 weeks, you might just be retarded.
I will say if you have fishing equipment and you don't catch any fish, I mean, what are we doing here?
It's a dangerous mindset to have, and it really is not a cause for celebration.
And making a spear is not hard. I'm just gonna point that out. It's not hard in a jungle, with ready access to all kinds of sticks. 10 p.m. Really? It's not as far off as I thought.
£135. Harvey.
I used to go to swimming club, right, every Monday. I feel like I'm back there.
I have to say, I don't
This is
find
what makes them happy.
starvation a good way of losing weight. I don't think we should be celebrating.
Look at the size of that. Oh.
I mean, look, I'm wholeheartedly one of those. It's just like find the ups where you can. Yeah, fishing is not a hard men only job. No, I completely agree. I mean, I was actually taught to fish by my aunts, because my dad was disabled and my uncle made a lot of money and separated himself from the rest of our trailer park family, which I don't necessarily blame him considering, but still, dick.
I can't get the Titanic theme tune
Oh,
That was like Titanic. See, if I was Kate Winslet, who was Leonardo?
I really thought we were going to have some until we left the island.
Oh, not the Wildcat. That's absolutely foul, bro.
It's funny.
I mean, it's really not hard. Just, and you can even do it without bait. But pretty much, like, especially if you have bait, whether it be minnows, worms, whatever, little grubs, something small enough for the fish in your general area to eat. It's not that difficult. It's just a patience game. And knowing when to, yoink. Like, once you feel that the fish has it, just give it a little yoink. It goes through their lip. And you're pretty much out. Just, as fast as you can to get out of there. And you're generally golden. But again, I haven't fished since I was a kid. But I used to catch a bunch of them. And as always, at first I was a little bitch about it, and I was just like, oh, I don't want to touch it, because my cousin's a dick, and he would tell me, like, I know some fish, their fins are sharp, but not the ones that are in this little pond out back of in the family's land in Arkansas. Not true. But yeah, it's not that hard. It's just a patience game. A lot of people do it for fun or serenity or whatever. So yeah.
Watching them realize,
and it's always surprising
that they can
figuring,
only
it's like
say
seeing
they don't need men, while in the
who
comfort
enjoys fishing.
of a first world country,
Of
where
course.
men already provide them with everything they need to survive.
And they do nothing in return to deserve it. Not
And real quick, most of the people, like I said, I was taught how to fish by my female, like my aunt's female. Most of the people I know or have gone fishing with are female. It's not just a dude thing, but I have 8 sirens today. I'm about to have another one. Sirens, like the attack sirens, Yanuka.
all women, but so many women. And you guys know who I'm talking about. It is insane how much these take this for granted. And the reality is, women would not have rights if we men did not earn the right to give that to them. And that's the truth. And then they take that, they weaponize their rights against us, and they leave us with nothing.
No, and again, not all women, just the bitches.
Insane.
But they can't even survive a week on their own without men.
Get the size it up! Woo!
For he's a jolly good fellow. For he's a jolly good fellow.
Oh,
He's
damn.
a jolly good fellow.
They couldn't even kill the pig. Shut the hell up. No way.
Like I'm sure it's different when you actually live there, but like, do you just get used to it? Like it's another thing during the day. Like when I was in Afghanistan, you could always tell who'd been in country for a while and who just got into country, because every time the sirens go off, the people who were fresh would lose their shit and run out to the bunkers, and the rest of us were just like, shut up, go to sleep. God, I gotta work in like 2 hours.
Ever fought in all my life.
If you can't even kill a pig, it's quite literally take a stick, sharpen it, and then stab the out of the pig. It's really that easy.
A small dog.
I am eating myself.
It's the size of a small
from
dog.
the inside. I'm just hoping that.
Like, I swear, the fact that they were a second ago just like on one of those movies that make fun of it, like, you know, one of those funny movies. It was just like, girl, you look so thin. Thanks, bitch. Like, you know what I mean?
Can get some food.
Put the stew on, we're boiling the bones down. I'm trying to feed 11 people in the next hour or 2 hours.
Starving. I'm thirsty. Like, surely
It's them
I'm
playing
gonna
the
die
small
soon.
spelling.
Stupid place.
You're on TV. You're not going to die soon. They will feed you before you die. I promise you.
But half the group is tied up trying to collect rainwater.
Oh.
Believe this. How disorganised can they be?
They've hardly collected any water.
Was that the total amount of what we've just got from that rainfall?
Wow, that's enough for 1 cup for each of them. That will last them 2 hours. Amazing. Off a whole ass rain shower is crazy.
When in doubt, send Vic out.
The expedition party has spent all day in the searing heat, only to find they've walked in one big circle, back to Coconut Beach.
How did that happen? I don't even understand. We cannot walk anywhere on this island without getting lost.
Let's rock and roll, boys. Let's rock and roll.
I don't know.
If you have no sense of direction or no trails or any distinguishing markers, find ways to mark the path or cut the path or do whatever you have to so you don't get lost. Like, this is like survival 101.
What it is in video games and
It's even easier if you have a compass.
driving, I get lost all the time. But something about my brain, when I get into the forest, when I get into the wild, I understand everything. I know exactly where I'm at all times. I never get lost. I don't know how this happens. I don't. I really don't. But there's something about our brains.
Sorry. We have been practicing going to the bomb shelter from a young age, so it's kind of normal. I mean, that's what I figured. I don't like to assume things, you know what I mean? What about, like, do the sirens go off after it's already hit, like they did when I was in Afghanistan? Or do they actually give you notice like a tornado siren would? Well, you're in the Middle East, you don't know what the tornado siren really. I don't think they all have tornadoes. Anyway, sorry. But yeah, do they go off, like, do the sirens go off after it's already pretty much hit, or is there any kind of warning there? I'm sorry, I'm just overly curious, but if you don't want to answer, you don't have to.
That just work better when they're put in nature.
Oh, I think we made it. Let's go. Let's go. Oh, this is exciting. This is
Why is it you're so adamant you're right all
Just
the time?
hold on. I'm not adamant I'm right.
Yes, you are, because you're dismissing everybody else.
Listen,
Oh my.
It depends. Is she right? Like, if she's right, shut the fuck up and listen. But if she's been consistently wrong and she's one of those who will just be like, like Matt Stone's character from Cannibal the Musical, where he says he knows how to, you know, those people who are always like, oh man, I'm a pro with this, I've done this, but they've never done any of the things that they keep saying that they're, like Usopp, with everything except sharpshooting, like, you know, making up all the bullshit stories. Well, it depends where you are. Oh, okay. Hi, can you react to a song? Talia Mar self-portrait. Maybe. Give me a second. Once we get to the end of this.
Oh my god. Oh my god.
I'm telling you,
Okay, well, where are we going now? Where are we going now?
So
No more
much.
confrontational arguing.
It's
I don't
so
want to
big.
lead. I'm sorry, I don't want to lead this group. I don't want to.
Wait, tell me those aren't a bunch of men and their wives. Tell me it's not husbands versus wives. There is no way that's what this is.
Is that husbands versus wives?
I can't deal with this.
The women have circled back to Coconut Beach for a second time.
Oh my god.
That's
pushed through the jungle
the
for 2
fact
days.
that they went this far only to circle back is astounding. It's just like, you know, making a wrong turn at Albuquerque. Tectone has lost so much weight. Damn, I saw him after a long time. No, he totally has. He's starting to look like me, as a matter of fact. I am a slightly more attractive version of Tectone. I am also a beautifully bald and bearded man. People call me Barbon Pelon, if you know any Spanish.
They're not one step closer.
Oh my god.
Brilliant. For the moment, absolutely buzzing. Yeah, definitely feel like a tribe on a hunt.
Yeah, it does, doesn't it?
Everyone's come out prepared.
You really need to know how I'm feeling.
I feel fine. Another day at the office.
Sorry, in the chat right now, Israel backed Hezbollah backed them up far enough for even the most northern places to have 30 seconds to get to. Oh, okay, nice. But in the start of the war, there was sometimes boom before the siren. That's how it was in Afghanistan. Like every you hear boom, and then you'd hear woo. Like it was crazy. Are you old like him too? How old is Tectone? No, yeah. I mean, I'm not. Oh, like, I still think I'm old until I pass a mirror, or young until I pass a mirror. Oh, damn. Yes, I'm old like Tectone. Possibly. Actually, I just got into my 40s, and God damn.
Maybe if we cry, that'll fix our issue of not having food.
It's really
There we go.
It's so hard. But at least her hair's braided. Divorced.
I feel really
I'm not doing the marriage thing again.
Oh my god, that's...
Yeah, it's enormous.
It's watching us.
No.
Though potentially deadly to humans, a crocodile of this size could provide tens of thousands of calories for the women, who have barely eaten in days.
Nah, the kind of women that I attract, it's probably best not to have kids. I'm just gonna say, yeah.
Decide to walk away from this potentially life-saving feast.
Well, maybe if they keep walking, they'll find a Starbucks.
That shifty little he's got closer, hasn't he? He's not scared of us. Look at me. Look at me. Ooh, ooh, ooh.
Jesus, are they gonna get alligator tonight?
Here we go, puppy dog.
That would be awesome. Yo, are they gonna get gator tonight?
Dude, shout outs to the guy who went all the way to the front. What a badass. Not giving a fuck. I mean, holy
Hell yeah.
This might be
Yo,
one of the
get that
coolest
stick
things
and
I've ever seen. I
stab
gotta
that
watch this.
motherfucker in the
Whatever
head
this
and
is,
eat
I'm
some
gonna
gator tonight, baby.
Get in there.
I want to do this. I want to show it. It's really
can't.
Seriously, look how much
Oh my
meat there is on that
God.
bad boy.
My God,
Yeah,
yo,
boy.
those boys are gonna eat good for at least a few days, maybe a week, depending on how they.
I've spent hours rearranging wet knickers and washing all
Wet what?
around this camp and squeezing it out.
I've never watched this, I
Hanging it
promise.
up for you.
I've been biting my tongue.
I know it's pants.
You
Okay.
You don't want me.
Oh my God! Totally.
Holy shit, indeed, man.
So ill, but I just need to sleep. Like my throat, I can't swallow.
Enjoy the idyllic tropical sunshine.
So good.
I think life isn't too bad after all.
We can't eat because we have no fire.
Catch a fish. I mean, you don't necessarily have to cook it. It's always best to cook it. But, I mean, find some berries and hope for the best, girl.
Bro, how many times are they going to try crying to fix their issues? This is actually annoying as to watch.
Let the fish
Imagine being there.
I mean, it's like the 5th stage of death. Alligator ramen?
Oh my.
Alligator ramen? Like actual, like ramen? Or... Oh... Like homemade ramen, right? Not like ramen noodle packages. This is... Like, I assume you can cook. That sounds amazing. I haven't had alligator. Oh my God, I haven't had alligator in years. Dude, it's the best. I'm originally from Arkansas, and I live in Dallas right now. But I really hate that I don't have any friends who are from Louisiana. Oh, I need to see if such and such from work is planning on doing anything with gator. Oh. Sorry. Things for later.
Oh my God, good on them, bro. They're out here having hibachi.
It's like chicken.
That was a little game.
We have nothing to drink.
But your hair's braided. You know, at least your hair's nice and braided. Think Before You Sleep did a video about this show a few years ago. Oh, did he? Dude, Think Before
Bro,
You
the
Sleep
moment they couldn't even make
is surprisingly based.
They just gotta wrap that.
I've grown very fond of Think Before You Sleep thanks to Lord Nuxanor. Yeah.
Wrap that out. Go to the next. You're useless.
Absolutely lovely.
If you're in the same area, you should just like develop a catapult and catapult an alligator leg into the girls' camp if y'all are close enough.
We're really struggling, guys. Come on.
Well, sitting there bitching about it's not going to do anything.
Char grilled to smoky perfection. Oh, that's good, isn't it?
This is horrible, man. This is so...
I just can't. I'm just so thirsty.
We don't make fire today.
It's all they're doing. Holy crap!
21 little fishies for the dishes.
God damn,
Oh,
bro.
God.
Oh, okay.
I mean, I'm not going to lie. I would probably not do as well as these guys are doing with the rafts and shit. Unless I had, obviously, someone in there who knew what they were doing, but...
All kinds of games.
Whole camp.
I'm looking at your urine results and things here, and I'm looking at your weight charts and everything, and I'm looking at people whose kidney function is on a decline.
Ooh.
And I cannot stand by and let that decline continue. Now, there's no easy way to say this.
Yeah, you suck. No, you just suck.
I'm teetering right on the brink of pulling you all off the island for medical reasons. If you do not get control in 36 hours' time, you're coming off the island. Over.
You go. Saki and Rupert couldn't have imagined.
I should be like, how are they going to do? Are they going to hunt another gator?
Predators.
I'm going to take that motherfucker down.
Armed with just a piece of string.
Yo, that's
How
crazy, bro.
Did they just one-man a crocodile with a piece of string? Holy light work. How are... Dude, this is insane. actually Giga Chad.
Yo, that's crazy, man.
I just wanted to let you know we need some supplies from you.
Hey, I'm not surprised,
Tonight we feast like kings.
Morning. So I now need to wait for this to get boiled, which is going to take a long time.
Did they finally get fire?
No way.
Bravo.
They didn't even have their water supported?
Sick. Now we've got one.
Like, what are they
Just fucking grab it.
Feelings? Jeez.
We've got one shitty jerry can. That's all you need.
Falls predictively. I knew it was going to fall.
Then why
And you didn't do anything about it.
anything? Rather than just say, I knew the bad thing was going to happen. I did nothing to stop it. Why didn't you?
Like, letting people fail is one thing. That way they learn. However, when your survival, okay, when your survival is at stake, okay, you got to not let that happen, or else you might die, and dying's bad, okay.
You do this? Why didn't you do something then?
By the time she's picked it up, all the water's falling out.
Okay, we got a lot of skinny, dehydrated bitches. We're gonna have shark. Yo.
He's a big boy.
You would think after all their failures, they would try to make some changes. But that would be way too logical, which is why they decided on continuing without a leader, just so they can all be equal.
I think, personally, we need to decide on a leader.
I can hear you're really passionate, Georgie, and I totally get it.
Oh my God.
No kings.
Oh
No
my
kings.
God. Yeah.
No kings. You're literally acting like Donald Trump right now, by the way.
But I think for me, we collaboratively lead the group.
That's not possible. You can't collaboratively, like the entire group can't lead the group. I'm sorry.
Harvey, that system is not working because we've done that.
That
And I
that
think we're
system
fumbling from one
is
day to the next.
retarded.
And now we're in crises.
Something has gone wrong somewhere. What do you think has gone wrong?
You've let people like Harley or whoever her name is have opinions.
What do you think's gone wrong? No.
But what we need to do is, try and work together without causing arguments, disagreements,
That's not possible.
unnecessary stress.
A few moments later.
Everything.
What's your profanity?
What's your
With the net set, the men's attention turns elsewhere.
Has anyone had a wank since being here? I haven't actually.
Why should I let somebody boss me about and tell me what to,
Here we
what
go.
to do? I'll
'Cause you're
do
gonna
what
die.
I want to do.
Yeah, this is why husbands are
'Cause you're gonna
oppressors, by the
die.
way. They try to tell women what's best
Otherwise.
for them. They say, you're literally oppressing me. Oh, okay, I didn't realize. Oh my God, this is infuriating.
Exactly, like his
I'm
guy
gonna
in the
do
chat
what I wanna
said.
do, and if someone's telling me what to do, I'm not going to do it. But we all need to come together.
Exactly,
But
the arguments have started already.
It's not an argument, Jenny.
This is what happens when you try and elect leaders.
No, that's what happens when you won't let anyone talk to you, and you insist on doing things your own way, even though you don't know how to do fuck all.
It's amusing how they can't stand each other or work together, even when their life depends on it. They're only
Again,
focused on
this
their
is not all
egos.
women. This is
Has there
a certain
ever been
a certain
successful
breed of
military
women.
that was led by women and populated by women?
There was a boat that got sunk.
actually
That's the only
curious.
one I heard about. I think it was New Zealanders.
Has there ever been a widely successful military/army led by women, populated by majority women? I'm actually very curious. You know the answer? Well, I'm not sure. I might as well grok it. I might as well grok it. I mean, you never know. No. There has never been a major, widely successful army that was both primarily or entirely populated by women and led by women at a top level. Oh, well, it's probably just coincidence, to be honest. And don't notice that, otherwise you're a misogynist, by the way. Don't notice that or you're a misogynist.
I have known good female leaders in the military. I have. They were hard asses, yet not unfair. But they're few and far between. Just saying.
And what they want to do. On the other hand, the men understand they need a leader to get things done efficiently. So they elected the most qualified man without letting their feelings get in the way.
I don't like that. Queens have started more wars than men.
That is true.
Why don't we fact check that real quick?
That is 100% true.
More queens started wars than men. Let's at least fact check that. I can't
percentage based on how many female queens or monarchs there have been to male monarchs. Yes, that's true.
That's true. We'll see. Yes, according to rigorous historical data on European monarchs, queens were more likely to engage in wars than kings. That's real?
Yeah. My sister is a badass female soldier.
Women
No,
can't
100%.
do for themselves, but they start all the problems.
No, again, and some of the most hardcore soldiers that I've ever met were female. I won't name them here, but there's been quite a few. And then the rest were a bunch of butter-faced barracks tarts. We'll just go there.
That's insane. Oh my God. Don't notice that and talk about that. They'll call you a misogynist if you say that, by the way. So don't say that, guys.
And I will say it's probably about a third of them are like your sister, like at least from what I've seen in my own experience. It's probably different in the Israeli army, but she carried. Yeah, see, and how tall is she? She's probably like 5'5" or shorter, right? That's damn impressive. No, and I know I've met Israeli soldiers. Some of them were stationed in Kandahar once or twice when I was there. Pretty damn impressive, I will say. No, exactly. Exactly, and that's why I always give everyone the benefit of the doubt, and I will never let, like I said, the other 60-ish% jeopardize the appearance of. No, exactly, and running with 100 kilo, that's what, like 220 pounds, I think, something to that effect. Hold on, 100 kilo to pounds. Yeah, 220 pounds. Sorry, I'm getting really good at the exchange on that. So basically, a kilo is 2.2-ish and some change pounds. So yeah, she was running with 220 pounds on her back. That's almost my whole self on her back, and she's fairly short. That's damn impressive. And then you have these chicks.
The statistics are misogynist. That's crazy. That's crazy.
Yeah, I've had a wank.
What about none of them rocks?
Over there.
No, where are they? Only once.
Right, tell me where you had.
Remind me not to go around there again.
Good Lord.
I'll do what I want, when I want. I don't want anybody telling me what to do. Boss,
and I'll do nothing.
That's right. I don't want you to bounce with. I don't want you to boss me about. I will sit here and die by myself. Like in life, sure, if you can, if you can find a way to survive 100%, do what you want when you want. By all means, you have that right. You also have the right to die because you're a twat. I'm sorry. An unruly twat who can't be helped and can't help anyone. And that one bitch is so mean.
Solve it, guys. This is great.
Julie! Oh, Jules.
Is she dead?
What's wrong?
You're so weak.
This is ridiculously wonderful.
So I do not want to be on camera today. If anybody films me, I'll kick off.
What's it like? What's it like? It's wonderful.
God, this is awesome.
Fucking awesome, dude.
It's crazy how one side seems like they're on literal vacation and the other is on the brink of death.
It really does.
Get B and get on the blower.
Like literally brink of death. And the old
And I gotta say, like, if it was me and my boys, and versus people like your sister and those 3 or 4 girls that I was talking about, it would be completely inverse. I'm saying, but at the same time, these are all strong, independent women's, and it's usually the ones who are fucking useless who are the most independent, I have to say.
only difference is a group of men versus a group of women. This is insane.
No. George, no, don't ring anyone. I'll get it out.
No, you won't. No, you won't.
And I knew it. I knew the stereotype was wrong, you know? But I knew they could nail this.
I wouldn't consider getting medical interventions and supply handouts to keep them alive as nailing it, but to each their own.
Anyway, guys, make sure you subscribe to
The modern...
It's okay, man. Bear Grylls faked his entire show, okay? He's just some liberal. Like, comment, subscribe. That shit was hilarious.
Today's first topic, so this is going...
All right. So I will say, like, on average, I'm too beta for conservative women, and I'm too much of a leader for liberal women. I have too many opinions, and honestly, I'm just right too often to be with most liberal women. But for conservative women, I'm not enough of a lead, I guess. That, and they just kind of, for the most part, like, since I'm poor and trailer trash, all I can get is like the former drug addict type of conservatives, and that's no fun for anyone. They are literally the worst of the conservative movement, we'll say. And people in the middle, it's a 50-50 shot. I get lucky sometimes. But anyway, continuing on to this one that I saw this not too long ago. But let's get into it. This one's pretty hilarious.
Viral.
Turns out you can still get a ticket for driving with a device in your right hand, even if you don't have a right hand.
All right, man. So you're gonna receive.
Just already there.
Quit it.
Just already right there.
That's great.
Okay?
I was not having my cell phone. Yes, you did. Where? On your right hand?
Citation for wireless communication device handheld while driving. We got to put the phone down as we operate a motor vehicle.
Oh, and you put on there that you saw me with my right hand holding it, yeah?
I did not put that. No, if you want to take it to
But
court,
that's what you said when you pulled me over, yes? That you saw me holding my device with my right
I
hand.
disagree with you. Yes, that's what I said.
Okay.
Yes, if you want to take it to court.
And that's what you saw?
That's what I said.
That's what you said you saw?
Yes.
Okay.
Okay. If you want to take it to court, option 5 on the back of the ticket, that's how you take that ticket to court. Do you have any questions for me?
No, thank you.
The fact that he wrote her a citation, like, how would she drive? She's got one fucking hand. How would she drive if she was texting? Like, honestly. With her knees? Maybe. However, I have questions. She's pretty damn funny.
That's my girl! That's my girl! Yo!
This one-armed chick would be more useful than every woman in the last video.
I love the pettiness about that.
This is a secret.
What?
I just
acquitted.
This is so bizarre.
Bring the cop in.
Now,
Bring the cop in.
Already right here, I was hooked. I said, I want to see updates. I want to see this.
You
go
was
to
hooked?
Hooked.
That's crazy.
Yes, because with that thing, it's hard to-
like Captain Hook?
Like anyone,
That's
see my
That's
right
it.
hand. I've
Somehow,
been.
This whole situation gets funnier because now she's going to court for this, but she got access to the body cam footage. And truly, guys, I want you all to know, comedy can't compare to real life.
Yeah, life is stranger than fiction. Like this is amazing. This is the video that I saw.
This is why you're being pulled over. The city of Lake Worth today, we're doing an operation for distracted driver, and you drove past me holding the phone with your right hand, manipulating that phone.
Just right there.
Think about this.
Yo, that's...
Yo, the fact that you proceeded with the ticket, you a petty bitch.
No, 100%.
I'm still gonna get my
100%
quota for the
petty
month, so I
bitch.
don't care. You gonna dispute it to court. I don't care.
So it gets better.
Obviously not.
It gets better.
So you want to just call this a day?
I don't want to call it a day. You have
You just said my right hand.
Well, I thought I saw you with your right hand. You
So you
manipulate
didn't.
with the right hand, perhaps not, right? But I
You
saw
said
you.
you didn't see me with my right
Okay,
hand.
so are you
saying that you saw me with my
I know
right
what I
hand?
just said. I know what I just said. I'm asking you now.
Do you though? I don't think you do, bro.
I did not. You did not have your phone in your hand.
I did not.
Hand to God, you did not have your phone in your hand.
Hand to God.
Hand to God. Yo.
Manipulation. Think about this.
All right, yo, just for Bonnie Miguel here, I'm gonna at least play a little bit of this song, just because you've been so patient, and I apologize. Oh, I didn't mean to. This is going to be painful, I can already tell. Okay. Hot off the request line. Talia of these. And I'm sorry if you like this song, Bonnie Miguel. Or Boney Miguel, however your name is. Why is it a lot of these artists, especially like what 10, 15 years ago would have equated to a Disney Channel artist, one of the people who were on one of those shows, who would then become a teen pop star and then grow up to be addicted to heroin. They all sound alike. Like, you can't really, like most of them, you can't tell me that there's any difference in their voice. You ain't seeing yourself. So far, I see fake lashes, probably fake hair, maybe some extensions. The nails look like they're regular size. There's way too much makeup. Like how old is this woman? She's very clearly got the same plastic surgeon as the chick from The Boys. Okay, I bet she's gonna say that she's got that same disease that the girl from there claims to have. Like, you are like in your 20s. Why are you having, like, I knew a girl real quick. I knew a girl when I was in the military, went to high school with her. She was trying to get me to make her my trophy wife or whatever. The colored hair is fine. Like, I'm an old punk goth dude or whatever. Like, I don't care about hair dye. These days, it does tend to be a marker of the same thing as like septum theory. You know what I'm saying? But, ugh. But like, anyways, so this girl, she got a tummy tuck because she was too lazy to do a sit-up. She was in her 20s, by the way. She got a tummy tuck done, and they botched it, and she lost her belly button. How does that even happen? I'm sure it looked like a titty with no nipple. It was crazy looking, I'm sure. I never saw it because I didn't want to. Once I found that out, I was just like, nah. 21 years old, already had plastic surgery and botched plastic surgery. So look at this. This is all new hair extensions and all the makeup. You clearly doubt yourself. Your whole body is is this your girlfriend over here? What's going on? Is this the mirror? Is this what she looks like without all? Very much tells me that this is one or both of you. This is a before and after. Okay, this is Hollywood kid and what happens after your parents make you, which actually kind of goes into one of our next those girls when they got off the island and got a little bit fed back. They didn't eat a whole lot, but they ate enough to do this. Is this a dance? I don't know, but she's real. Nothing. Like, are these glued on? Are they piercings? Either the kind of people who listen to or make these songs, like, remind him what he missed. Headaches mostly. No, exactly. from what? Like, from laughing? No, girl, you don't need a self-portrait, okay? You need some self-reflection, okay? As Nux would say, she's got a father-shaped hole in her heart that she's trying to fill with plastic surgery, makeup, hair extensions, and all kinds of cock. Anyway, continuing on, let's go back to Ben Shapiro. That is an interesting. Like I do like a couple of his takes, but not a whole lot. Speaking of trans people, let's get into
the dark world.
Any more requests? Pop them up.
Kids. Megan Fox allegedly.
But this is what it reminds me of. Like this, that girl was like a before and after at the same damn time of one of these situations.
Has 3 trans kids. The odds of that, statistically, being real, it's impossible.
Noah started wearing dress.
Like, look, the amount of plastic surgery, I literally could not tell the two of these apart. Like, any woman who gets this kind of plastic surgery is disgusting. I'm sorry. Like, she used to be a very attractive person. But pretty much, and you know, this might be the old liberal in me, or it might be what's become the new right wing coming out of me. But everything makes women hate themselves. Everything. The trans movement makes women hate themselves, want to become men. It makes men hate themselves, want to become women for some reason. Like, it's crazy. Everything about right now is about you are not enough, you're disgusting, change. Whatever happened to like the 90s, early 2000s mentality of loving yourself for who you are, what you can do, and if you can't do anything, learn how to do something. Okay? Grow to love yourself. Don't become like this, all right? And even though, you know, Blair's trans, she's very based most of the time unless Israel's involved.
Dresses when Noah was about 2. I bought a bunch of books.
If you're doing things at the behest of your 2-year-old outside of whatever cultural norms, that's on you. 2-year-olds make all kinds of weird things, okay? Especially if mommy's dominant, okay? And especially if daddy's Machine Gun Kelly.
Written by transgender children.
Dwayne Wade, Jennifer Lopez, Charlize Theron adopted a child from South Africa who apparently came out as trans at 3. Jennifer Gardner, Cynthia Nixon, Ben Affleck, Jamie Lee Curtis, Cher, Naomi.
Remember the picture of Jamie Lee Curtis? Like, I bet you can't tell which one of her kids is trans. I bet I can.
Naomi Watts, Robert De Niro. This is just a short list. The dark world of celebrity trans.
And again, guys, if you got any requests, just drop them in the chat over there. I'm gonna probably start doing this every week, probably a little earlier than I did today, but it's probably gonna be a Sunday special type deal.
Kids. I'm not sure why I've never done a video on this topic yet over the years, but I just came across a complete list of the amount of celebrities in America that have transgender children, and I was a bit taken aback. I was a bit gagged because it's actually so long. This is just a short list. It's much longer, but let me read some. Megan Fox allegedly has 3 trans kids, which we're going to get into that and unpack that. Dwayne Wade, Charlize
Which
Theron,
is mathematically impossible.
Jennifer Lopez, Jennifer Gardner, Cynthia Nixon, Ben Affleck, Jamie Lee Curtis, Cher, Naomi Watts, Robert De Niro. And that's really just the A-list. And there's an insane amount more. When you start getting into like B-list,
this is clout chasing to the highest order.
You can't even list them. It's too many. Quick disclaimer, though, I am not here to attack any minors, underage people who are trans and happen to be children of these celebrities we're talking about. I'm really trying to focus on only the ones that are minors because this is actually the more precarious situation. I don't care about, you know, people who are adults and do what they want to do.
And I only care if this started when you were a kid. Look, I do believe there are people like Blair and a buddy of mine from back home who know this about themselves the same way as, you know, being gay or whatever. That's your decision once you get to a certain age. But the amount of pedophilia with people like the MAPS in the LGBT, all the extra letters, not the Canadian version because there's way too many letters up there. And they like you could have 6 letters for one group that has nothing to do with sexual orientation or any of that. It's crazy. But be who you are. But be a kid, first and foremost. If your kid is a trophy for you to like tout in front of your friends, then you got problems. This is gross. Like the right wing has those toddlers and tiaras and whatever. I mean, that's pretty gross too.
Obviously, why would I? hello. For example, you know what I mean? Because I am a fair person. You think of like Cher's son, Chaz Bono, who was really like the first famous trans person, a trans man who came out decades ago. It was only a net negative for him to do so. It's not like there was a lot of trans people out public.
Exactly.
That's clearly an example of like a...
And Chaz is, you know, one of the few things that'd be like, you know, he was an adult, whatever, I'll call him, her, whatever. It don't matter to me. It was an adult. This isn't something that was, you know, popular at the time. This wasn't clout chasing. This is just a thing that happened when this happened. However, the rest of these
legitimate trans person, an adult who's doing what they want to do. When it comes to these kids that are being used
your mom's
as props
share,
for
I mean, it's
activism,
bound to
however,
happen.
when it comes to these kids who are being thrown out as public figures and trans, that is where things get really dicey, where things get really dark. So that's what I'm trying to focus on today.
They're using their kids for relevance, especially these old, worn out, tattered, no more plastic surgery can help them kind of old broads.
Any of these minors,
mostly
have social
single
media,
mothers.
do not go harass them. Do not go say anything. That's disgusting.
I agree with that. Don't do that.
Yeah. So Megan Fox, to start off with, so demented. It's written about, as you can see, that she has 3 trans kids, 3 sons that are all trans, and these are all 3 biological boys.
That's the next generation of Hanson.
But I don't believe she uses the word trans for these kids, so that's important to note. But as you're going to see in a second, she does use trans kid books to parent them, so it's a little bit of a gray area. What is most concerning to me, though, is the odds of having 3 boys that all want to wear girls' clothing out in public. You know, like, what is that? Because that is not organic. There's clearly a source for this abnormality in all 3 of her male children, and let's just listen to how she handles it.
Noah started wearing dresses when Noah was about 2. And
so I realized something recently. I am on my phone way more than I'd like to admit. Scrolling, playing games, just wasting time. So I figured if I'm already doing that anyways, I should get something out of it, right? So I started using this app, sponsoring this video, and now on to the rest of the video.
I bought a bunch of books that sort of address these things, that address a full spectrum of like what this is. And some of the books are written by transgender children. Some of the books are just about how you can be a boy and wear a dress. Like, you can express yourself through your clothing however you want. And that doesn't even have to have anything to do with your sexuality. So from the time they were very young, I've incorporated those things into their daily lives.
So it's good that she is aware that you can dress like that and not actually be trans and do anything medical, so there's hope. But also, as you can see, she's incorporating trans books written by trans kids in this situation. And if it was one of her sons, if it was one of her children, I would say she's probably handling this decently, at least like getting multiple perspectives. But again, the fact that it's all 3 of her male children, the odds of that statistically being real.
And like I said, if it ever was the case, which it's absolutely not, especially in Hollywood, where if you had one of your 3 or 4 kids came out as such, then okay, cool, be supportive, be questions, push back though. Don't push back to the extent to where you're just going to make it worse. But if you're like this, where you have 3 out of 3, or like the old redheaded broad from Sex and the City, where you'll see later probably, it's just like, I am the proud mother of a trans kid. I'm the proud aunt of a trans kid. Like, every kid in my neighborhood's trans. What are we doing?
It's impossible. I'm comfortable using the word impossible. You're probably looking at a root issue that is much more to do with their environment, that is much more to do with maybe events that have happened around them. And am I a doctor? No. However, am I comfortable within myself looking at old literature that's maybe a little more controversial, censored, sort of blacked out from history, the history of psychiatry when it comes to gender dysphoria and trans issues? I do like looking at that because I think there's a lot of truth when you actually look into the past. I don't think this is the height of like knowledge right now. And I think you can kind of sense that. We're not at a height of knowledge on these topics. There's other stuff to look into. And there's a lot of stuff that can cause gender dysphoria, including trauma, including, traumatic events that involve children being hurt. So I'm not saying that happened at all. it's impossible for me to know. However, this is clearly a situation where you're only looking into LGBT perspectives. It just makes me feel really uncomfortable. I think she should probably do some soul searching. Then again, she does all that witchcraft. So, you know what I mean? She might not want to do that.
They like...
Yes.
Oh, she's about to say
We
it.
do
Hold on.
consume each other's blood on occasion for ritual purposes only.
Moving on to...
If it's for ritual purposes only, then why you look so rough? You should have like a longevity type youth, like what's his name, Jared Leto. I mean, that dude's clearly got some voodoo going on. He's looked the same since 1999. Okay, but I'm sure there's bloodletting and drinking and all that. He might actually have summoned some dark entity. We don't know this yet. All we do know is that having him attached to any kind of major film project is doom. It's doom. Morbius. Doom. The 9 Inch Nails video that was cleverly concealed as a Tron sequel. Doom.
To Ben Affleck and Jennifer Garner's non-binary child who came out at 15, and this is really bad.
Hey, Bonnie,
This
thanks
is
for
so
the
cringe.
follow
Came
there,
out
Bonnie Miguel.
At the grandfather's funeral.
That's gross.
On stage, trying to like eulogize the
Make it
grandfather,
about themselves.
which is like the most horrific. Like,
Yeah.
I hope none of y'all have been to like a ton of funerals in your life. As someone who's been to a few, I can't imagine anything more horrific than making a eulogy or a speech about someone who's just passed about yourself. Like, so
I gotta say though, he came out as a dude. That's got a lot of selfish elitist chick energy. One of the most elitist chick energy type things that I've ever seen in my life. I mean, you would have to have the amount of estrogen in that person's system is great enough that it can only be contained by her mother's gigantic ears.
So again, I think it all kind of goes back to parenting with these people, and they're celebrity parents. So it's like you can have a million critiques for how they're probably not great parents just based on the fact that they're probably all narcissists. Like that's part of being.
I mean, and consider the Ben Affleck rant from Bill Maher like 10 years ago. It's not hard to understand that this poor kid is the victim of having really shitty parents.
Being a celebrity, you have to have narcissism to be famous. It's not even, I'm not even saying it as like a negative thing. I'm saying like, you gotta have a healthy love of yourself to even want to become famous and to survive in an industry like that. And so,
oh
really
yeah, Yunuka, dude, I love
the fact.
I love when the chat's active, man. Like the more I can get in chat, damn that the black dress. I just saw that King Pop. Yeah, but yeah, dude. I love when the chat's active, and I like how you switched to Kick because you saw that pretty much everyone is over in Kick today. Normally it's you and Shapeshifter and on YouTube, but yeah, now Kick is popping off today.
Fact that
for us, at
the
least.
Child
Let's see if we can keep it going.
At their grandfather's funeral. And by the way, the kid chose the name Finn, which is like the name that every single FTM on TikTok who thinks they're living in an anime has picked. So
and I will say again, I won't say his name, but I was writing a comic about 10 years back that didn't go anywhere because my artist dropped out, and it's hard to find an artist. But the duck smoking the cigarette. But yeah, a trans buddy of mine who I was gonna call Puck and pretty much just treat him like Puck from Alpha Flight in the X-Men comics. I said, what was your second choice of names when you transitioned? And he looked me in the eyes and said, Finn, because Sharknado would just come out. And this dude's like 5 foot tall. That's why the Puck thing would work.
So it's kind of like, it's clearly a phase. And further proof, it's about the parents, by the way, because again, I'm not attacking the kids. This is about the parenting happening with these kids. The other kid is a COVID mask wearer in 2026 who actually goes and does public talks and like tries to
She's got her mother's ears.
For adults, the relentless beat of back to normal, ignoring
Charge complete.
Feeling both the prevalence of airborne transmission and the threat of long COVID manifested in a series of choices. We need the people who remember 2020, who are not like me, 14 in 2020, to be loud about the world that we were promised at the onset of the pandemic.
Something tells me
my
it's about the parenting
God.
here. Not the kids. And the odds get even more insane if you just go to Ben Affleck's ex, Jennifer Lopez, who also has a non-binary kid.
Maybe
so
it's
Jennifer
Ben.
Lopez and Ben Affleck's non-binary child came out at 14 on
I mean, and thank God that it did muffle everything that she said. Otherwise, we might all be doomed.
stage while performing with Jennifer Lopez. So again, it's the taking the stage to like announce and like making it this like
My daughter's such
narcissistic
a
moment.
handsome man, just like her
I
father.
could see how you could interpret it as cute and as a mother being supportive, for which all these parents should be supportive of their kids, obviously. But
She looks like Donnie Bosco had like a somehow more flamboyant little brother. Rufio Part 2EO.
that's not the issue, because you can also be too supportive. You know what I'm saying? To make it the spectacle.
I love Donnie Bosco,
and
by
to
the way. He's
sign
cool.
the child
Rufio
up to be
and
made that spectacle.
Blood and
I mean,
Bone
not for
and
nothing,
Zuko.
like to put your kids in the public domain as like this debatable thing at this highly political time surrounding gender too is kind of like, it's definitely a choice. It's definitely a choice. And I'm trying to be very careful how I talk about these kids because they are in fact
Don't be.
minors, but there are people who are not careful at all and are saying the worst things about these people. So I just feel like that's bad parenting. I'm sorry. So next, this one is also really bad.
I mean, and if anyone says anything about these kids, it's the parents' fault. The parents are propelling these kids into the spotlight for their own relevance and clout. It's disgusting. It's disgusting. Their kid being trans aside, it's absolutely disgusting.
Bad. You have Cynthia Nixon, who's a lesbian actress.
Is
who
she?
just so happens to have a trans kid. Like, I know the water's different out there in LA, but like these families are like atrazine maxing. And the thing is, a lot of these celebrity parents of trans kids also very much use the situation to take this high horse publicly, to get on stage at events, to make speeches, to make it like this huge.
Have you ever noticed, and I'm sorry, I love you, Blair, like 85% of your stuff, other than the anti-Israel crap, like around the eyes and the mouth, like doesn't it look like she's wearing a mask now? I'm not saying that I believe in lizard people or anything, but something about people who have a lot of plastic surgery, and she has admitted to being a little addicted. My God, just like around the eyes and around the mouth. Look, I mean, that's probably not the best part to hold off on, but
sort of narrative.
like it's astounding to me. Just like just watch her in motion. It's real sad.
Like Cynthia Nixon here.
Most importantly, I am here today
Oh God.
as the mother of a proud trans man.
Okay. Okay. All right. Okay. Sure. That's fine.
I am here today as the aunt of a proud trans man.
Okay. That seems like you're in a cult. Seems like you're in a cult and you hate women.
Is trans, and my kid's best friend is trans.
All right.
I hadn't even seen that yet. I can't believe she made the situation 20 times worse. Wow. I mean, any argument that
It's like they're just
there's not
like
a
they're just
social contagion
mass
aspect of this
producing
is
them.
like, so multiple in your family, your whole friend group, the whole friend group of the child, like
It's going to be to the point where LA just becomes like that one block in Escape from LA.
it just kept getting worse and worse and worse. And not for nothing, you know, I'm not the person here who says that trans is a social contagion, right? I feel like that's intellectually lazy. The entire thing is not a social contagion, but to deny that there is not a social contagion aspect
There
and
is.
that for individual people you can trace it back purely to a social contagion, that is clearly the truth.
Hollywood types.
Clearly the truth. So you're just a lesbian and all the kids in your family are trans and all their friends' kids are trans and all your friends, like some men clean.
I mean, to be fair, that girl, it was going to be a hard road regardless.
In the milk. Something's wrong. This one kind of makes me sad. Charlize Theron. It makes me sad because it has sort of like
Two of them.
I don't know, just ickier feel to it than the other ones. I don't know. You'll get
She
what
adopted 2 black kids and made them both girls. What are we doing?
I mean, Charlize Theron adopted a child from South.
And what's sad is she seems so based. Back when she was just popping up on anything that Seth MacFarlane did, she seemed like one of the coolest people in the world for a long time. God. This is why, like, the one really cool chick that we all know who have been in all of our lives, that person stays alone for too long, or just gets all that they want for too long. They start thinking that they're oh my God, this poor kid.
South Africa, who apparently came out as trans at 3, and said, "I'm not a boy, so there you go," quote. And that was the moment that the 3-year-old came out, and is seen wearing
That's not a thing.
dresses and stuff out in public. And it's just kind of like, I don't know, to adopt a child from across the globe. I'm sorry, you could not tell me that if that child was left to their devices in South Africa, they would also be trans over there. Like, it's just not.
Yeah.
And it's not just a purely, oh, they wouldn't accept it thing over there. I just don't think it would have came up.
Charlize Theron on The View Tuesday, correcting the pronoun Joy Behar used for her 7-year-old daughter, Jackson.
Where is he? She's at home. They're with Grandma.
Now, in a new interview with Pride Source, the bombshell star admits she's always learning when it comes to parenting.
That makes me rethink all of it.
Including what pronouns to use for her child, Jackson, who was assigned male at birth.
And I'm putting this in with the disclaimer that this is truly like a gossipy type thing. Like, I have no way of proving this, and I'm not looking at it as proof for me. It's just like an interesting thing. There's this TikToker who posts celebrity blind items, which is basically this like insider group that posts tea about celebrities, and it's all people from these celebrities' actual circles.
So,
And this
Yanuka, I
girl
know
has
you
gotten
saw
everything
this.
right. She knew about all the Diddy stuff
Yiddish
before it happened.
Deadpool.
She's known about literally like pregnancy.
That's actually kind of an awesome
like,
costume.
I have
gotta
her on
say.
my For You page sometimes, and she'll say something and it'll happen like a week later. So
I'm saving that
that's
shit.
just a disclaimer that you don't have to believe this, but this is her talking about Charlize Theron and raising the trans child.
Charlize Theron is reportedly raising her male child as a female, but
Looks like
according
both of
to
them.
this new blind item, the child allegedly wants to be raised as a boy just like he was born. At school, this offspring wants to be called a boy, which is how he was born. It is the actress' mother that keeps insisting he is a girl.
I mean, does this
And again,
surprise
this is allegedly
anybody?
Jackson and Charlize Theron.
You can take that or you can leave it. You can believe
I mean, it sounds a lot like that movie, what's that 80s movie? Sleepaway Camp, where the scary aunt, like, saved these 2 kids, and I guess one of the kids ended up dying, so she made the boy pretend to be the girl, and that made this person homicidal, which would explain the kill count for the community.
it. You can think it's BS. I don't really know how to feel. All I know is it does kind of match my actual sort of vibe I had just seeing.
Sorry, her
it.
face is
It was
freaking me
this
out.
South African child, you know, from a culture where trans doesn't even exist. It's just kind of like, yeah, that matches what you kind of suspect, right?
Huh? Who's count?
Raises my blood pressure a little bit. Back on the topic of these celebrities who use their trans child to make a public spectacle and become these big activists, you have Dwayne Wade and Gabrielle Union, who I believe this child is only Dwayne Wade's biologically, but she's like the stepmom who's very involved. Trans child between them. So the trans child's name is...
And Gabrielle Union is crazy. I had such a huge crush on her when I was young, but this woman is crazy. I hope that she plays the video that I think it was from BET or something, but let's get into this.
Zaya Wade, I believe she's legally an adult now, but came out at a very young age and is also a public activist and has been since being a minor. So again, this person was launched to fame and scrutiny and all these things. It just seems like a very dangerous thing to do to a child, even aside from the transition, which is medical here. Gabrielle Union has used this for multiple public speeches at award shows like this one.
Will we fight for some, or will we fight for all of our people? Let's just name it.
Look at the face twitching. This is, I haven't seen like weird facial expressions like this since Winona Ryder, when Stranger Things won all them awards, and the man who thought he could be Hellboy was making some kind of speech, and she was sitting there chasing fireflies with her facial expressions. It was crazy.
A couple hard truths. First, the intersection of black rights and the rights of the LGBTQIA, trans, and gender nonconforming people continues to be rough. It's a huge understatement. Even as we demand equality at the top of our lungs, we consistently fail to extend our advocacy to protect some of our most vulnerable among us. And second, black trans people are being targeted, terrorized, and hunted in this country.
One, that's not really true. And two, the only people targeting them at all are the rest of the black community, I'm saying.
Every day, everywhere.
So I have mixed feelings.
I mean, you
about
should say
this,
that.
because a really hard truth is that, you know, you want to talk about black trans women being hunted in this country, ask and just research a little bit who's actually hunting them. Black trans women, are violence rates higher towards them? Absolutely. But do you know why that is? When you look into each one of these individual stories and you actually research this, it is first of all black people doing it. So
and it's mostly people who, one, they lied about who or what they are. Like one, I don't think it's right. You should not beat up somebody for being trans. However, if you are kissing on somebody, making out with somebody, and this is why you should not just make out with random folks out in the public. I'm telling you guys, because you never know. I mean, I know because I've been around the community long enough to where I can spot an Adam's apple like that. I gotta say, like, I spent 4 years in Hawaii. Like, I can spot a Filipino ladyboy from a mile away. I had to save the rest of my soldiers, but nah, man, this is crazy. But most of it is just from people being like finding out that they've been making out with a dude, or maybe have cross swords with another dude. I'm saying, like, just be careful out there. That's why you just don't go try to throw it down with just anybody. Wait till day 2.
So I know that.
And stop lying about who you are. Like, I understand you want to drop stigma and all that, but stigma can't be dropped until you drop the fact that that there's a stigma for the dickma, we'll say.
You know, it's often this depiction of like it's white America against them, but it's black people doing it. So it's something that the black community should actually, you know, sort of own and think about. And so I do think that that is a productive thing to be talking about, I guess, on BET, which is a black award show. So maybe that is something that, you know, demographic.
And I will say it's just like the Stop Asian Hate thing. All you heard about was Stop Asian Hate until you found out where all that hate towards Asian was coming from. And it was the same community that she's talking to right now. I'm just going to say every video that came out could have been addressed in this room.
Graphic should be hearing. However, the fact is she's injecting this into a narrative of medically transitioning their underage child. It has this other demented side, which, like, if that's where this activism is supposed to lead, which in their heads it does, and in the eyes of trans activists and these people, it does lead to that's what you have to support. It's like, no, she should be supportive of her child and he should be supportive of his son. And so that's not what I have a beef with. It's just the fact that I don't like when kids are used as political weapons. So when you're using your child's life to get up on a award show stage and make this speech, which no one asked for, by the way.
I'm actually kind of sad
that are political at award shows.
I'm actually kind of sad that Nux hadn't dropped a video this weekend.
Shows are annoying, and that's why no one watches them anymore. I guess for me, you just have to wonder, if you're someone who transitioned as a minor and your parents are celebrities and they've been using your story publicly about you being trans and being a warrior for that and being an activist, how do you even feel the space or comfort to maybe detransition, or maybe feel like, you know, I still have autonomy over my life, I can still go in a different direction? It kind of locks you in, making it this public thing, to this life and to this path. And that path is one that is harmful to a lot of people, especially when you're underage. And so it's this sort of like locking in and cementing of who they are in the public's eye before they can really do that for themselves as adults that is demented to me. And it's why, again, I'm not talking about people like Chaz Bono or any of these celebrities that have trans adult children. It's the kids that it just gets really weird. On this channel, we've talked a lot about this concept of Transhausen by proxy, and we see it with looking at
Transhausen. That's brilliant, I gotta say, because it seems to be a lot of what it is. It's Munchausen's, it's Transhausen by proxy. And what's the problem? The type of people that the septum piercings look up to, or the septum piercings themselves. Okay, a lot of this is pushed on white liberal women. Let's just be honest. And again, I don't judge people by the color of their hair or the piercings in their skin, but there is a common link, and the likelihood of someone with these things being one of these people pushing this, it's pretty high. It's pretty high. I'm just saying. There's being supportive of your kid. And then there's pushing shit on them because you think it'll make you popular with the other moms in the neighborhood or at student council or whatever we're talking about.
Famous, just like regular, usually white, always liberal women who, you know, use their kids as props to sort of make themselves seem like this more accepting, esteemed part of the community. It gives the parents purpose. They're suddenly becoming activists themselves.
Or from channels and pages like Christina Laurie, this person who claims that they knew Charlie Kirk when they were in high school, and then Charlie Kirk became apparently this evil person, and she became cross-eyed twat.
2 of my children are receiving gender-affirming care.
That's not who this is, by the way.
My son has always been the happiest child I've ever known. Since he was a toddler, we called him Sunshine for his infectious joy.
And they sort of weaponize the identity of their child, or let's say it's not really their concrete identity, you know, the struggles of their child that they're having with gender. I think it's just disturbing to put kids out there like that and to attach your own, you know, work and television appearances and public advocacy to your child. It's a fine line, like you should be supportive of your child, but this goes beyond, in a lot of these cases, just publicly saying like, yeah, this is my kid and I support them. You're, you know, injecting politics into it. You're going to activist events, you're going to parades, you're going and making it a thing. But let me know what you guys think. Do you guys think these are all just like organic? None of you think that. These are organic incidents. All these kids would just happen to be trans. I really do not think that. Y'all know that.
No, 100%
but
not.
Give me your opinion. Thank you so much to Free Cash for sponsoring this video. Make sure you guys check them out using the QR.
All right, hold on.
Don't you see that as a denigration? Don't you see that as a denigration of your baby?
Hold on, real quick. I just gotta say,
It's hard to believe.
I'm a little nervous about this because the first season was so good. Okay, X-Men 97 was very nice, very quick paced, a lot of shit happening in a little amount of time. The only thing that they should have given more time to was the Black Queen, where she became the Goblin Queen or whatever. That needed more time to breathe, but the rest of it was very well paced and a lot of tears in this. Bo DeMaio, my hat's off to you, sir. I hate that you got kicked off this. I hope that you had enough influence in this season as well to make it watchable, okay? Because I'm not going to lie. I'm going to wait until reviews come out from a few key people like Jeremy Johns. I'm going to see, like, if Angry Joe hates it, then it sucks, okay? If he hates this show, then it definitely sucks. If he likes it, it may still be bad. It depends. But, and then a couple other people, see who all brings out reviews on this. I am not watching this opening weekend. It's going to hurt. It's going to be painful to not watch this when it drops. Because I think Bo DeMaio did a great job on the first season of X-Men 97. I was really hoping that it would launch Spider-Man 98, but it did not. But yeah, anyway, continuing.
What's not waiting for me?
A man, because they both, well, neither one of them really died because there was hints that, well, Magneto straight up came back, but there was hints that Gambit would come back too.
Someone I lost. Someone special.
The X-Men are scattered through time. In the past,
from the start of Apocalypse's reign to the future at the height of his rule.
The X-Men. I must strike them at their
All right, pause for the cause so we don't get hit. And let's go.
most vulnerable. The 1990s.
Jeez, could have at least bought me a drink first.
I don't like that they made, like, I'm okay. Like, I understand this is a form that Morph has taken, but I like his 90s show form better. 100%. And that they're trying to they them and also make him gay him is a little much, but they've left it ambiguous, so I'm making peace with it. It's fine. They're not throwing it in your face. This and what they've done with race swapping in One Piece live action is fine. It's 100% fine. As it is.
We gotta get the X-Men back.
I like that my man Bishop's getting some.
You fight a battle
I like the
that
Cable's
cannot
getting
be
more.
won. Against the dawn of an age that cannot
I very much, I love, is that Exodus? Oh my God, that's Exodus.
be stopped.
You know what? Hold on.
This isn't just about us. It's about everyone we've lost.
From the beginning of time to the reaches of tomorrow, we stand together.
Sorry, I wasn't paying attention. I was typing something. Sorry.
From the beginning of time.
Love the Savage Land. I think that was what that was.
Tomorrow, we stand together, right here, right now. I believe in the X-Men.
That's not fun. Well, I think that was Morph posing as Deadpool, but I really hope we see actual Deadpool in here, and I don't care who it's voiced by. It could be voiced by freaking who voiced it for Death Battle? The guy from Nostalgia Critic. I don't care as long as it's good.
We're back, baby.
There ain't.
Okay,
So
hold on.
apparently a whole lot of Hollywood movies were just exposed as CIA propaganda.
Okay.
This is all of the Easter eggs.
So I'm gonna wait 1 minute. Do you want to watch the breakdown of everything nerdy in the X-Men 97 video, or do you want to watch Lord Nuxenor talking about Hollywood leaks just prove that there are CIA propaganda? There's 3 people in chat. Come on. What we got? I'm gonna run to the bathroom real quick, and then we'll see what everyone says. I see 1 for Nux already. All right, I only see 1 vote, and that's from Mr. Yanuka himself for Nux. So let's see what Nux has
So
to
apparently
say.
a whole lot of Hollywood movies were just exposed as CIA propaganda. The
Doesn't
truth of the
surprise
matter
me.
is this is the least surprising thing in the universe. It's something I've been saying for a really long time. I do believe that one of the major purposes of new media is essentially just to psyop you into believing in a world that isn't real. you know, a world of infinite genders and a world of the girl boss. Where actually
Imagine.
being super happy is when a woman unlocks her true power and sprays period blood on her opponent or something to destroy him. You know, something like that, or whatever Hollywood's telling you these days. You know, manufacturing infinite wars. Stuff like that. So I'm excited to see the actual info this time. Moon made a video on it.
There's a version of your favorite films and TV shows that you weren't allowed to see. Scripts were rewritten, scenes were cut, endings were changed, and characters were altered.
They'd stamp top secret on the top and the bottom and the sides in the margins of every single page. And I said, guys, this is not top secret. This is a Hollywood movie. It's already on video. It's done.
I'm talking children's animations with rewritten endings, comedy films you've never heard of with deleted scenes, superhero franchises built in secretive contracts, and a screenwriter who tried to tell the—
Look, dude, I'm just gonna
doesn't
say,
surprise me with
there's
any
way
of the
too many
Disney
gay
shit.
things going on. It's everywhere.
Yeah, it's
I'm
a lot.
telling you, bro,
It's
gay
a
people
lot.
would watch the same movies if they were straight guys. Right? We do not need to pander that hard to make them happy, unless it's a worldview that they're trying to push on you.
the wrong story and was found dead with both hands missing.
I'm gonna drop Mr. Nuts a like.
Wait, what?
That every Hollywood movie about the CIA is pro-CIA.
Yeah,
this has been running since the 1940s.
I didn't even think of that.
I didn't either.
Yeah, true. That's pretty funny, isn't it?
What started
Surely
with
there
Walt
has
Disney
to be
producing propaganda shorts for the military has now evolved into a formal permanent operation, one that now reaches into the biggest franchises on the planet, and it hasn't stopped expanding from there. When John Kiriakou, a CEI whistleblower who went to prison for
Yeah, but he's kind of retarded. Like, I've seen some clips of him saying some pretty weird shit.
exposing the torture program was asked on the Diary of a CIA.
Like, he's currently under the payroll from the official Russian state. Like, he is getting Russian funding for his podcast. This is confirmed. This isn't like a conspiracy. That's actually true.
How the agency would hypothetically design an influence campaign. This
That doesn't mean the things that he says are wrong, necessarily. I'm just saying.
was his answer.
You would have to have a goal.
Okay, so there have been a few Enemy of the State, the one with Will Smith and all those people, not strictly CIA focused, but implied that it was CIA, JFK, Kill the Messenger, The Good Shepherd. I haven't seen most of these. I saw JFK. Syriana, I've heard of it. The Bourne Identity, okay, gotcha. Post 9/11. Okay, there's dark comedies like Burn After Reading. Okay, sure. But yeah, not that many, and not that many that take it seriously or actually call it the CIA.
That would be specific enough that you could actually track the progress to it. It has to be a message. You've got to be able to get a specific, well-honed message. And the message can be anything. It could be, you know, love the CIA, we're the good guys. It could be support the overthrow of the Iranian government. It could be, you know...
I mean, the Iranian government are doing better propaganda than any any movie that ever came out of Hollywood. And then the Iranian government decided to kill 40,000 of their own people and shut off the internet so we couldn't hear them scream. No, they did a...
Hey, guys. Hey, look, we can be liars, too, just like women folk. We can be liars, too. We can fake having abs, pecs, and biceps. And buys and tries. Isn't that nice? And then Cartier family says, this gay or the gay sex. I mean, yeah, but I mean, you know, we can be liars too. Doesn't that sound fun? Doesn't that sound great? We now have, we'll call it peck-up bras. Pecs and abs, right?
a much better job at propaganda than, you know, with the Death to America shit than Hollywood ever could.
Any criticism of Benjamin Netanyahu is anti-Semitism. It could be anything you want it to be. You just have to make sure that it's repeated enough.
He mentions a couple of things there that are highly relevant right now.
Yeah.
Take Argo, an Oscar-winning film that almost everyone has heard of. The plot follows a CIA officer who poses as a Hollywood producer to smuggle 6 American diplomats out of Iran, all during the 1979 hostage crisis. As you can
Which is a real thing that happened.
imagine, the CIA is unambiguously the hero. There's barely a single mention of the CIA's overthrow of Iran's democratically elected government, or the installing of a dictator who ruled with a secret police.
Oh my God, hold on. I actually agree with Kyle Kalinske here. Sex scandals matter. The New York Times. What sex scandal when it comes to whichever fucking Cuomo this is. Andrew Cuomo? Yeah. No, I agree. I agree. He was, however, the lesser of two evils. That evil being Zohran Mamdani. But only just. Okay, the fact that... God, that was a weird race.
Force trained by the CIA. And given the current conflict in Iran, you could reasonably argue that the public's understanding of who Iran is and how he got there was influenced in part by films exactly like this. During filming, Affleck visited CIA headquarters multiple times, sat in round tables in the director's conference room, and even emailed the agency promising to do the agency proud. The CIA had actually been promoting the Argo operation.
No shot. We got an email.
It doesn't surprise me.
Like, oh, we're gonna make you guys look sick. Bro.
As a suggested
we're gonna make you guys look
on their own
so
website
awesome.
years before the film was made, and even thanked Affleck publicly on Twitter for the film. Affleck said this when interviewed as part of the press tour.
Are there many actors in Hollywood who also moonlight as agents, do you think?
I think there are probably quite a few, yes. I think probably Hollywood is full of CIA agents, and we just don't know it.
But Argo's only the...
I mean, what was that? The Confessions of a Dangerous Mind movie with the great Sam Rockwell?
surface, and you'll be shocked about where exactly the strategy operates in Hollywood. The films it touches...
Animal Farm?
All communism is good. All communism is great. It's never the fault of the minority that committed the crime, God forbid.
And how smart it truly is. Take
that
the
new
original
shitty
script for the Hulk. The canon storyline, as per the comic,
Animal
involved
Farm.
Bruce Banner being transformed after a US military program gone wrong. It also included dialogue referencing Operation Branch Hand, a real program that sprayed roughly 20 million gallons of chemical herbicides, including Agent Orange over Southeast Asia, poisoning a possible 4 million people. Both details were removed purposefully by CIA advisors. This is according to leaked files.
That's fucking weird.
Yeah.
They changed the source material to make the CIA look better. Oh boy.
By the conversation.
Oh,
they then changed the origin story to a lab experiment gone wrong instead because they couldn't risk anti-government sentiment in a franchise of this size. In the Transformers films, a Pentagon liaison inserted specific dialogue instead of removing it. In one scene, just after American troops had been attacked by a Deception robot, he added the line, "Bring him
a Decepticon." Oh my god.
home," to reinforce US military values. Numerous superhero films, including practically the...
but that's a real thing. Like, we do have... Look, man, I'm going to say unapologetically, I love our military, and I think our soldiers are fucking heroes.
The CIA, on
I'm
the
gonna
other
say
hand.
that unapologetically. However, I do think that our intelligence agencies, you know, they try to fight for the greater good, but or at least they claim they do. But I think that they do some horrible, evil shit. You know, I'm going to be upfront with my opinions here.
Entire Marvel Cinematic Universe.
Look, we saw what happened.
By the
with
way, I'm not suicidal.
The pilot that was downed in Iran, where we literally went on complete radio silence for 2 days to rescue him, and thank God we did. Like, we really... Look, we live in a country that, thank God, is awesome. The greatest civilization ever known. And yes, we lost, I don't know, a couple $1 million of equipment by rescuing that man. A new helicopter that we lost could be replaced in a year.
Yeah.
But you know what can't be built in a year? The values of no one gets left behind. That is a value system that took 250 years to build. Thank God.
Which is the single biggest franchise in history.
And as long as we detonate the...
Captain Marvel was granted full Air Force support. The Air Force was advertising the film on social media before Marvel had even started.
You wonder why they call it a cockpit?
Captain Marvel and Black
Such
Panther
a...
were both used directly in recruitment campaigns.
Oh, yeah, but those were... yeah, because they were targeting women and black people, not white guys. Right? Very obviously.
The result was a documented spike in female applicants to the Air Force.
Right. Let's be real here. Is that good? No. No, it's not.
No, it's not.
All right, listen, I'm just being real here. I don't think we want to use government propaganda to propagandize women specifically into thinking that they can be the girl boss that militarily is superior and can save the country. You know, because
I mean, the Air Force is female-centric enough, especially the guys.
Hollywood does mostly. It pushes narratives that aren't real life to psyop people into believing that this is real when it's not.
Force Academy. They literally called it the Captain Marvel effect. On Iron Man, which was massively supported by the Pentagon with
Bringing
$1
down
billion
film
worth of
franchises.
equipment, there were literally fights on sets between the directors and the agency. Pentagon liaison Phil Straub objected to a line in which a military character says, "People would kill themselves for the opportunities I have." The director John pushed back, and soon they were standing on the flight lines at Edwards.
Sorry, I like the Mossad. Even if the IDF there is almost no female pilots. I mean, look, I don't care how much of anyone is there as long as there isn't being any discrimination based off gender or race, and it is 100% merit-based. I don't care how many of anyone is there. I don't care if white dudes are the least amount as long as everything is merit-based. I don't care. It could be all white dudes. It could be no white dudes. I do not care. As long as it's merit-based, exactly.
Air Force Base with 200 crew watching. They eventually settled on they'd walk over hot coals, but even then, that didn't make the final cut. But a much weirder example is Meet the Parents, when Ben Stiller's character walks into Robert De Niro's workplace. In the original script, he finds CIA torture manuals. That was rewritten. Now he finds photos...
Bro, Bro, that is such a loser change.
De Niro meeting Bill Clinton.
Oh, that is such a loser change. What, are we supposed to make believe that the CIA doesn't torture people? Of course they do.
IMDb credits.
And you know what? It might even be justified sometimes. What
Maybe.
happened?
I mean, who's to
the CIA
say?
black site stays in the CIA black site. You know what I'm saying?
Chase Brandon as a technical advisor and Milt Bearden as consultant CIA on the film. Which you can see here. These examples just cover what we know for certain from a leak of 60,000 pages of documents, which confirmed the CIA has been involved in more than 2,500 productions in total. The Pentagon runs something called the Entertainment Media Office, a formal liaison operation that works directly with Hollywood studios. They support studios financially, offer advice on sensitive topics.
And you wonder why it's like radical left shit that doesn't even make money. You know, like I've been saying this for a really long time. Every woke movie fails. Why do they do it? If the goal is to make money, and the woke Jews that run Hollywood, they like money. I can promise you that. So if the goal is making money, then why are they making movies that they know will do worse?
He learned that from all his time in the Jew tunnels.
Shit. Like, why engage? Right? Why engage with that discourse altogether? You know, unless it's literally getting funded by the government. Literally getting funded by the government to psyop people into thinking that the faux reality that they're creating is actually real.
And lend them specialist equipment and prime filming locations. In exchange for permissions, the CIA get to read and approve the script before a single frame is shot. They also have complete veto power, and directors are obliged to follow their word. One Pentagon minder said on record, "If they don't do what I say, I take my toys and go away." A declassified CIA document released in 2019 all but confirms that, logging dozens of meetings between the CIA's Office of Public Affairs and executives from NBC, Time Warner, Viacom, Fox, Paramount, and CIA. The document covers just 2 years from 2014 to 2016. It includes lunches, development deals on campus filming approvals, and meetings to develop CIA-themed TV shows. The CIA has always claimed it merely answers requests on an as-needed basis. The document shows active outreach. The agency is going to the studios, not the other way around. But you have to stretch back much further to find—
why would the CIA need to do that? Unless it's specifically trying to rape your—
Torturing for information is based. I would support torture to inflict pain. No, 100%. I mean, you know, if it's necessary, especially like it's like, have you ever killed anyone? Yeah, but they were all bad. Yeah, but they were. I can't do it with Arnold Schwarzenegger anymore. I apologize. Yes, that was what I was trying to do, and it was awful. I apologize.
Your mind.
Oh my God, what do we do here? We have to get out of here. Have you ever killed anyone? Yeah, but they were all bad. Still not good. Sorry.
With CIA funding, all cultures are exactly the same. It's systemic racism. That's why Zimbabwe's a shithole.
One of George Orwell's most important works was adapted into a movie. The CIA had the final say over its closing moments. That film is Animal Farm.
No way. We have confirmation that the CIA affected the production of Animal Farm. So for those of you
I don't think it affected it too much.
that are unaware, Animal Farm was basically a show about how communism is evil, and they changed it in the new Hollywood production to make it look like capitalism is evil.
A classic anti-establishment story about rebelling against power. After Orwell died, the film's rights to Animal Farm were purchased by two men, and both were undercover CIA agents. This was in 1954, the height of the Cold War and the Red Scare, when the fear of communism was at its peak. The CIA funded the entire animation. They hired British animators, deliberately avoiding American studios to create distance, and because the agency distrusted Hollywood animators during the Red Scare, and they rewrote the ending. In Orwell's book, the animals look through the—
And now it shows that there was a good reason for that, because they're all basically Russian.
Farmhouse window and can't tell the pigs from the humans. The line says, quote, "The creatures outside looked from pig to man, and from pig to man, and from pig to man again. But already it was impossible to say which was which." This is the whole point. Revolution replaces one set of oppressors with another. Capitalism and communism are equally corrupt. The CIA couldn't have that mess.
And that's what I always tell people. This is the main look. The main reason I never got down with communism, even when I was a hard lefty, is because you're entrusting the same motherfuckers in government that you already don't trust. And you're giving them complete power over everything. We already don't trust them. Why would we give them more power if we already don't trust them? This is my biggest concern. And this is me coming at it. I still consider myself a liberal dude. Why would you hand over more levers of power to a governing body that you already don't trust with what power they currently have? I mean, we all know a lot of this stuff's going on behind the scenes, but just like, and I'm a firm believer in they put things in movies, and this is kind of proving that, to make you think that couldn't happen in real life. Like Tommy Lee Jones when he said, "A person is smart, but people are dumb, insane, and corrupt, and you know it," or whatever he said. And then he said, the only thing making sure these people go on with their happy-go-lucky little lives is that they do not know about it, meaning all the crazy shenanigans that the government gets into behind the scenes. And that's true. Not necessarily with the Men in Black, if they do even exist, but government agencies in general. I'm a firm believer in that. So again, why would we trust people we already don't trust with more levers of power? The answer to that is it's being pushed by that very entity.
L take, but anyway.
Out, so their version ends with the animals triumphantly overthrowing.
And I would love, look, especially if there's anyone here who's a Nux fan or who drops money on Nux Taku, mention me. Just tell him he doesn't even have to watch me, but just to follow me on X, and I want to start a dialogue with the guy. Like, I would love to pick his brain on some stuff. I've been around for a long time. I've been a part of the left, the hard left, activist groups and the like. I would very much like to talk to him and just see what his thoughts are on a bunch of stuff. And we could even put it on a thing. Or behind the scenes, either way. I would just very much love to pick his brain.
Throwing the pigs in a second revolution. Communism bad, rebellion good, America wins by implication. See, watch how they storm the building and how it doesn't imply the same message as the book at all. It's subtle, but the new version reinforces the division between good and bad. It creates a moral precedent that corrupt systems can be overthrown and replaced with something better, which is a really comforting thought, unless you realize it's exactly the story the CIA tells every time it topples a government. Orwell's ending says the opposite, that power corrupts regardless of who holds it, and that revolution just replaces one set of oppressors with another.
Yeah.
The director Joy Batchelor strongly opposed the change, so the CIA threatened to pull financing. The intelligence officer E. Howard Hunt, who later became involved in the Watergate scandal, said the film was, quote, carefully tweaked to heighten the anti-communist message. Although it was originally aimed at adults, Animal Farm found its primary audience in school over the US.
That's what I mean. Good cause. Making fun of communists is awesome. I think
Literally a primary audience in primary schools, by the way.
only good communists is dead communists, you know, as they say. And I think we should be deporting communists en masse. Absolutely, communists fucking suck. They're violent retards. But you know, evil shit. Corrupting
they're violent retards that want you to cut your dick off.
US and Europe. By then, the state and media were already deeply intertwined. Governments had correctly identified that the media was the best way to access the minds of the public.
100%.
Generations of children were shown a CIA-funded film with a
just look at
CIA
any news
rewritten
agency.
ending, as if this was a faithful adaptation of Orwell. So you may not be surprised to learn that Disney was the testing ground for how effective propaganda could be. While it might be hard to believe today, Disney was actually going broke, and the government offered it a deal. They accepted, and within 2 years, over 90% of Disney's output, mostly propaganda, was government content. Disney characters found their way into all sorts of government materials, including 1,200 military insignia. Walt Disney even personally designed this terrifying Mickey Mouse gas mask, all to make children less afraid during air raids.
Oh my god, that is crazy!
That's actually even more horrifying.
Look at Disney films through the ages, like Snow White, The Incredibles, and Frozen. They're often said to carry some level of deliberate messaging.
Yeah, The Incredibles is the #1 conservative movie probably ever made in the history of all time. It's about a man who is actually better and superior, and he's fucking awesome at what he does. And he really is. He's actually incredible, I would even go as far as to say. Eventually, for some reason, society, because of libtardism,
I love
decides to stifle down and squash every single person in society, make everyone the same. You're not allowed to stand out. You're not allowed to be different. You're not allowed to be special. You're not allowed to be better. Everyone has to be fucking cubicle people. All right? So bro goes to get an office job. His life becomes shit. His wife stops respecting him because he's not actually doing his best. He's not living his dream. And then you know what? He gets his spunk back and he fucking does shit. And you know what? After he becomes incredible again, he feels better about himself and his wife actually starts respecting him again. Only for the family to actually be like, you know what? We are fucking incredible and we are not ashamed of that. The #1 conservative movie ever made. I have to do a full video on it at some point.
In a conversation between Theo Von and Robert Greene, the guy who wrote the 48 Laws of Power, Greene said they offer a singular worldview that runs through most Western mainstream media. While modern society came to describe this phenomena as woke, the more important aspect is the consent it manufactures.
Oh, yeah.
And what angered me about Hollywood, people pretending to be these liberal, wonderful people in favor of all the best causes out there to create art.
When the chips fall onto the table, these civilized people,
they'll eat each other.
Bullshit. They wanted power.
Oh,
See,
yeah.
I'm not a
They loved
monster.
having the power.
I'm just ahead of the curve.
They would drop the woke stuff tomorrow if they could make more money doing something else. It's just about what's going to bring the buck.
Oh, where's the money? See, I heard that argument so many times.
No, I see. I believe that too for a time, and then the shit kept losing money. Okay, we've been through 2 whole phases of almost no money coming into Marvel. We've gone through, how long's it been since that shitty The Last Jedi movie? Since any Star Wars movie. The Mandalorian just bombed. Since Star Wars has brought in any money in the box office or on, you had another siren, are you okay? As long as you're okay, Yanuka. But I like I said, my prayers with the entire country, bub. But I don't know. This whole thing is just it's kind of crazy.
It's part of the lie. I hate this argument actually because everything woke fails. All right, if you look at interest in woke projects, they don't exist. People don't watch the woke shit. People don't like the woke shit. The woke shit actually.
Oh, are you?
Sucks.
Oh,
It
dude,
loses money on
dude, I feel that kind of warms my heart, and I fear for you, of course, but I know you'll be fine. But the fact that you're watching this and me and old Lord Nuxie over here, it means the world to me, bud. It really does. Over here, kind of going with what we're saying, some dipshit named Hala. What's that? Oh, imagine that. But said something stupid. Star Wars is dead, and fandom culture is entirely to blame for it. The franchise was always patient zero for this phenomenon, and it only proves how fickle giving the fans what they want actually is, as long as the term as a long-term business model. Audiences are too dumb to know what they want. Clearly not, dick nuts. And then you see Flash getting in on there. And then, of course, or maybe, just maybe, Star Wars is dead because Disney produced 10 years of shit Star Wars content. 100%. Completely approved by the CIA, by the way.
Everything it touches, from Star Wars in the movie scene to video games, right, that have been absolute destroyed by woke shit. Look at the new Assassin's Creed game. That was a complete flop. So, in my opinion, I agree they like money, but wokeness isn't bringing them money from consumers. It's giving them fake approval ratings and fake incentives because they're getting money from the billionaire super NGOs. All right, maybe even from the CIA or the government to promote this slop. All right, and the reality is, I think people fall for it, that they're just doing it for money, and therefore they're going to do something that appeals to the most people. They'll create the goy slop. I think the goy slop is funded by the government.
Someone upstream decides what the acceptable worldview is, and the media is passed accordingly. The Pentagon did it with military values. The CIA did it with anti-communism. Hollywood does it now with whatever sells. The product always looks like entertainment and not ideology. These are films watched by billions, not just in the West, but worldwide. So this is also a matter of the image the world superpowers want to project. Soft power has always mattered enormously to the West.
Yeah.
Huge military, invincible superheroes, perfect moral values, intelligent agencies that can do anything they please and always win. Now, you might be wondering what happens if someone breaks ranks and goes against the grain. Whether it's possible to subvert the CIA and inform the public of the truth. Well, there has been at least one occasion when someone tried to do exactly
they usually
that.
die.
He was Gary DeVore, a Hollywood screenwriter with major credits on Schwarzenegger's Raw Deal, Christopher Walken's The Dog of War, and Backroads with Tommy Lee Jones and Sally Field. He was deep into a script idea that even his own wife didn't fully understand until after he was gone.
When I first moved in with Gary, he said to me, "Don't be alarmed if you get a call from a person from a government agency. Just take their name down and their number and don't be worried about it." In the first 4 years, there were 2 calls. And then, not too long before he actually disappeared, there were several from the CIA at Langley.
It was called The Big Steal, set during the US invasion of Panama. A friend of his, Hollywood director John Irvin, had lunch with Gary a few weeks before he disappeared. He could tell that something was off.
He was troubled. Something was bothering him. He wasn't really in the conversation. He was having trouble with the script he was writing, which he talked about more about not the script, but about a government very, very sensitive, inconvenient truth. He was speaking more as a journalist than he was...
Not that crappy Al Gore movie.
...as a screenwriter. He was talking as an investigator.
A researcher who later investigated the case, called Dr. Matthew Alford, eventually uncovered what Gary had found, and it's really dark.
The dictator of Panama, Manuel Noriega, made secret recordings in wired rooms of senior US officials having sex with underage prostitutes, male and
No, Shoddy uncovered an Epstein situation.
Imagine.
Newspaper commented on this, and the story was then buried. And the guy who wrote it got shot by an anonymous sniper.
Gary planned to put that in a Hollywood film. He was driving home through the desert, and then that was the last anyone heard from him.
Oh my
and he said, "I'll see you later." I never heard from him again.
It's like Gary DeVore simply vanished into thin air.
There was a massive search, foot patrols, helicopters, a $100,000 reward, but 0 leads and no witnesses. He was missing for 374 days. But then his Ford Explorer was found beneath 15 feet of muddy water at the bottom of the California aqueduct, despite the aqueduct having been searched extensively. His laptop containing the script was missing, his gun was missing,
Weird.
and his hands were missing.
Why were
What the fuck?
hands cut off?
Listen, the man had his fingers removed. Why? Why?
In my own mind, feel that there is a crime here. I do not feel that my husband drove off of this bridge.
And cut his own hands off.
He drove off the bridge and his hands fell off? Hello? No one's buying this.
His disappearance, agents from the FBI, CIA, NSA, and DoD arrived at the family home. After an official went into his office, his computer was wiped. And here's an unlikely connection to meet the parents in other films years later. It was Chase Brandon, the CIA's entertainment industry liaison officer, who was among those at the scene. When Alfred started digging into the case years later, he received a warning to stop what he was doing and leave while alone.
You know, of course, you've received an informal or semi-formal warning from a CIA and DoD contractor who said to you, back off the CIA, you're going too far with this now. These people can and will ruin your life and come knocking on mine and your door.
A former White House official from the Reagan and George Bush administrations confirmed that DeVore harbored a deep-rooted relationship with the agency and considered the case as the hallmarks of a cover-up. The CIA declined to comment on the entire situation, and the case officially remains open. So,
And there's just nothing you can do about this.
Yeah.
And they're just so corrupt. You can't even like. There's just nothing you can even do about this. Like, what are you gonna do? Complain? What are you gonna complain to? You're gonna complain to the people that did this?
Yeah, you're gonna complain to the CIA?
Dude, it's just fucking demoralizing. We're up against like a real monster, and the only way to win, in my opinion, is to completely and utterly, radically change the ideologies of the people, and that is the current war that's being held. You know, heartbreaking as it is, all right, you have to tell people that the fake reality that they're showing you on these feel-good TV shows and movies is not an actual real reality. It's actually a giant psyop to rape your minds, right, and to convince you that infinite debauchery is actually a good thing, and it's really not. Every Hollywood movie shitting on, you know, religion or religious values and stuff like that. The religious guy is always the nutcase. The religious guy is always the one that ends up in some sort of adulterous relationship. You have to snap people out of this.
And again, I mean, these are the same people that used religion to control people up until probably 20, 25 years ago. And now they're using the religion of politics, leftism, to control people. That's all this is. It's a psyop, and they keep moving things in and out of power. When they've sucked all the amount of control that they can get out of one, they move everything to the other. That's why the same kind of people who were calling me a faggot 20, 25, 30 years ago for hanging out with a bunch of gay people are now calling me a transphobe, a homophobe, because I don't think that you should trans the kids. I haven't changed. These people have. And it's the same, literally the same people that would drive by and yell out that slur at me and my friends coming out of the gay club. Again, I'm completely straight. I've never done, like, I've never had any form of gay anything in my entire life. But since I was there, these people who were only religious for the control or whatever that it gave them, using it as a tool to elevate themselves over other people, are now using the very people who they had hated on using religion before, now using that as a tool to beat down on other people and elevate themselves above. And yes, these are white women who I'm talking about.
This fugue state that I think so many people are in just because they walk around and absorb whatever slop gets shoveled down their throats. Demoralizing and horrifying, but we have to notice, we have to spread the word, and we have to win. We're finally fighting back.
The other side of the coin. What potentially happens when the CIA's veto isn't obeyed? We don't really know the truth of what happened, but it does show you that you should mess around with topics not sanctioned by the agency. As for the impacts this all has...
That's right. Just say the line. Just say the line they told you to say, and they will leave you alone. Just toe the line infinitely until everyone is hyper-vaccinated.
Yeah, put on the funny hat.
Possible fucking shit that they can inject into their body. Wearing masks, not having families, women aborting their babies. Just say the line. Just say the line, they said. Well, you know, unfortunately, you got to fight back sometimes too.
on society, Theo and Joe Rogan were very perceptive about how it can change public perception.
So in World War I, one of the problems that they had was people didn't want to be over there killing people.
Yeah.
And so people were shooting, but they weren't shooting at the actual enemy. And so then they realized, well, we've got to do something about that. And so after that, they started creating all these really patriotic war movies where the guys are heroes, they go over and they shoot all the bad guys, and then they're awesome. So then the next group of people that go to war are all going to be indoctrinated with these films.
John Kiriakou thinks that nowhere has that indoctrination been more effective.
That's not a conspiracy theory. That's just objective history.
Effective or more dangerous than in warming the population up to the idea.
And also, incredibly hot take. It was very good, actually. Because, like, there are many things that indoctrinate you. You know, on the one hand, you get indoctrinated by violent video games to shoot people, to kill when you're at war. And on the other hand, you get indoctrinated by a society that's telling you, actually, under no circumstances should there ever be killing ever. You know, so ultimately, when push comes to shove, you do need to kill your enemy in war. I know that sounds brutal, but like you look at the Bible, and thou shalt not murder is one of the 10 commandments. But at the same time, when the Israelites went to war, God told them to obliterate their enemy. You know, like both of these things can be true.
Fear of torture.
One thing that bothers me the most is when Hollywood perpetuates the myth that torture prevented acts of terrorism or disrupted acts of terrorism. And
the big issue is this is scientific fact that people will lie to get out of being tortured. So torture doesn't actually help for the most part.
Yeah. To me, that myth is dangerous in that it affects public opinion. You can put whatever euphemism you want on it. You can call it enhanced interrogation techniques. I don't care what you call it. What we did to some of those people was just illegal.
Kiriakou would know. He's the only CIA officer who ever went to prison over the torture program.
I objected to the CIA.
Yeah, now he's getting paid by Russian state media.
Use of so-called enhanced interrogation techniques, which I believe to be torture. And I went public with that information in December of 2007. All this time, by the way, I'm waiting for somebody to come out and say something. And nobody said anything. As a result, I was prosecuted and served 30 months in prison. But I'm glad I did. Somebody had to do it.
This is especially true in the film Zero Dark 30, which is about capturing Osama bin Laden. John Kiriakou thinks it's the strongest example of making the CIA look clean from every angle.
Zero Dark 30. So Zero Dark 30, I think, is the most egregious example of CIA interference in Hollywood.
The CIA gave the filmmakers classified briefings over a classified mock-up of the bin Laden compound. The film essentially pushed at the torture program as what led them to bin Laden. Kiriakou says that's a complete lie.
This was a film that the CIA made a policy decision on that it was going to cooperate fully, to the point where senior CIA officers gave them inappropriately classified briefings over a classified mock-up of the bin Laden compound. Okay, that's chargeable under the Espionage Act. The CIA just turned it over. Why? Because it made the CIA look good.
In real life, intelligence work is edgy, gruesome, and morally ambiguous. Mainstream TV and cinema don't need to be accurate. They just need to feel right and not leave the audience with too many lingering questions or ambiguity. They pick up on this exact point in the podcast.
Even though they are torturing people. Now, entire population is so kind of almost like brainwashed into, but they are good guys, so torture is okay,
Right.
as long as good guys are doing it.
Well, that was the narrative.
And they've got so desensitized towards doing bad shit, and if it's the CIA, or if it's Tom Cruise, or if it's like Mission Impossible, and they're doing bad shit, and they're torturing people, that's okay. Like, now the message is that's okay, you don't worry about it.
No, sometimes maybe.
I mean, if Tom Cruise is doing it.
Maybe, look, I'm not going to sit here and make believe that I'm unhappy that intelligence agencies might have done some morally dubious things for the sake of our nation. But you know, overall, I don't trust them and I don't like them. These two things are not inconsistent.
So desensitization and controlling the narrative are central to this whole strategy. But there are deeper layers than promoting and suppressing films. The CIA's venture capital arm In-Q-Tel, literally named after Q from James Bond, has been funding tech companies since 1999. Google bought an In-Q-Tel funded mapping startup called Keyhole that became Google Earth. In-Q-Tel and Google then jointly invested in a company that builds predictive analytics by mining web data. Palantir was one of their earliest investments.
Here we
The
go.
CIA
Here we go.
I was waiting for this.
had established an entire directorate of
What's that,
digital
Mr.
innovation
Vance?
specifically to engage Silicon Valley. So it's all linked together and practically operates in plain sight. Theo Von told Green a story about bumping into a construction worker at Century City Mall in LA.
And an Indian
So
and
I
a
started
cop.
talking to him, and he's like, dude, guess what we're building? I'm like, I don't know. You know, I thought maybe it could have been like a Hardee's or something. He's like, we're building like a 20-story building, and 10 floors of it are the CIA, and the other 10 floors are a management company, Hollywood management.
Theo was mixing
No! That's a funny coincidence, right?
up the CIA and CAA, Creative Artists Agency, Hollywood's most powerful talent firm. But Green made it sound like the real thing was even worse.
Oh, oh, so he was just wrong, bro. Theo Von is like the kind of guy that's like, he's funny, and if you turn your brain off, you can watch him. But
yeah,
bro's dumb as rocks. It's miserable. I'm just like, I'm sorry, bro. His best friend is Candace Owens, you know.
And you go to that building,
which is I feel bad for Theo Von because he just shows the kind of person you have to be a fan of people like Candace Owens, and honestly, Blair and the Hodge twins are going that direction, the heavy anti-Israel side of the right, and I'm like, really? You're going to make Candace Owens the person Pied Pipering you to that side of this side of the Force?
and they call it like the Death Star. There are like, politicians who are being represented by CAA, athletes, tech bros, influencers. It's pretty frightening though when you go inside. It's almost like Scientology, Hollywood's version of Scientology.
He's describing high-level ongoing talks at the intersection of the media, government, and big tech, all in a building lovingly called the Death Star. So you can now see how this whole influence campaign is.
Bro, I love how every single one of these like big government like intelligence agencies are named after the villains in media. Like you have to be like Palantir is named after the Palantir orbs in Lord of the Rings. The Death Star, obviously. Like, what are y'all doing?
Far bigger than cutting lines in Marvel movies. It relies on cross-collaboration between multiple arms of state and private power, and the product hasn't stopped at the cinema. It's been actively following the audience, which means you, wherever you go, including online.
Do you think the CIA have a strategy for podcasters and for podcasting?
I think, yes, now they do. It took them a little while
They absolutely do.
to get current, but just like
I know that because I criticize England, okay? All right, a lot.
Oh, yeah, Keir Starmer's a wanker. I don't know if you're aware of this. I know you know this, Yanuka.
Go to England.
I've seen
because they might
some
connect
of the things
funny,
you've been
wacky, blue
commenting on.
anime character on the internet to the real me. And I say that because I've gotten, like, emails of people actually, from places actually looking into me. And,
You're out of the bomb
that's
shelter?
very
All right,
I don't want
man.
to go to England and get arrested.
Do y'all have like a community one, or does everyone just have one in their domicile, or what are we talking about here? Or are you military? I'm asking too many questions. I'm sorry. Again, naturally curious.
Because, Nuxanor online is talking about how...
And you never have to
should not
answer
be
anything, but
importing
I
infinite
don't want you to
rapists
feel
into the
like
country.
anything's
I
an
don't like that
op.
idea at all.
they, over time, developed a strategy with Hollywood. Sure, they're developing a strategy with podcasters.
This strategy is consolidating as we speak, which will only make it easier
I mean, to be fair, I'm probably going to do a separate video on the podcasters that are compromised by the CIA, but, like, they're the guests. If I have a podcast and I'm just dude bro 69 420 on the internet making dude bro content that wants to interview interesting dude bros, all right, and then some fucker at the CIA is like, hello, I would love to come on your podcast. I jump at the opportunity, right? I'd love to interview some CIA guy to tell me that everything's okay and Epstein was just totally just some random guy that was just kind of perverted,
For agencies like the CIA to wield greater control over the narratives. Larry Ellison, whose company Oracle now hosts TikTok US algorithm and controls its content moderation, just bought Paramount through his son David. And if their bid for Warner Bros. And Discovery goes through, you can add CNN, HBO, Warner Brothers, Cartoon Network, Nickelodeon, MTV, Comedy Central,
Community,
Discovery,
I'm out of the
TLC,
service.
TBS, and TNT to that list.
Technician,
An internal memo
nice.
obtained by NPR confirmed the Ellison-led entity will control
Listen,
what's...
guys, it's just business. It's totally not the psyop.
Yeah,
you.
okay,
and what's
people,
not
nothing
on
to
the
say here.
Bernie Sanders called it oligarchy, and Oracle, which sits
The oligarchy.
This is retarded.
Yeah, no,
underneath
he
all
is
of this, has
100%.
held government contracts with the CIA and the Department of Defense for decades. Whatever you call it, the media pipeline is now shorter than it's ever been, and in fewer hands. There's a through line from Donald Duck selling war bonds to Captain Marvel, selling Air Force recruitment to Google Earth. Tracking your location has never been broken. The methods have evolved: direct propaganda, covert funding, script consultations, structural incentives, venture capital, and digital surveillance. The principle itself hasn't changed. Get the message right, make sure it's repeated enough, and eventually nobody questions this anymore. And if you've seen...
And now women are deciding, hey, why should I get married when instead I could follow my dreams and abort my babies?
And then adopt other people's babies, and then convince them that they're not the gender that they were born into.
Miserable forever.
What happens when someone steps outside that system? A screenwriter at the bottom of a canal with no hands? A researcher warned to back off before they ruin his life? Maybe that...
YouTuber banned from every platform, like it's everywhere. It happens to everybody. Right, just say the line.
And you understand why so few people ever try.
Yep.
It's not a theory about...
And that's why if you're your average influencer that plays video games for a living, let's say, if you ever want to get political, if they ever get political, it's always to libtard politics. They're always going to celebrate Pride Month and use the right pronouns and shit like that. Because why should a guy
Because
who
they're
makes a living
cowards.
playing video games online risk it? risk their entire career because, hey, they said something that the corporate overlords don't like, you know?
About Hollywood, but a description of what 60,000 pages of declassified
And
documents
I can't do that.
confirms
I
already
will
happened
probably
and is still
never make
happening.
any
The
money
story-
doing this, simply because I say what I mean, and I mean what I say all the time. I say what I think, and I could give a fuck who agrees with me and who disagrees with me. I'm willing to have my mind changed, but the likelihood of that happening, of someone taking my thought process that's based on years and years and years of being around all kinds of different people, is unlikely.
You grew up on. The truth is, we simply don't know how deep this rabbit hole really goes. How much of the information-rich world around us is real, and how much is fake or manipulated just enough to maintain a thin veneer of authenticity. Like we saw in this recent video we did on the CIA compromising podcasts, the rabbit hole truly goes deep. In any case, the strategies employed by the CIA and the government to influence the media are not theoretical, and they don't spend millions on them for no reason. So ask yourself, when you're next watching your favorite films and TV shows, can you really take them at value? If you think you can, ask yourself for how much longer do you think this will be the case?
Yeah. No, that was a really good video.
Hold on real quick. Hey, Team YouTube. Pull this down. Hey, Team YouTube. YouTube creators, here's a clip of this psycho on your platform admitting to purposefully false flagging me to get deplatformed. This is a clear violation of TOS and needs to be... Did Bearing do...
Dildo I guess that's the main big thing, right? Is this all here? Correct? Oh, no, it's all wrong. So yeah, you can see that, like, these guys went to him, or at least someone went to him, and were like, "Hey, you should be covering this guy." They've tried to do that previously. I'd be really interested to know if there are large influencers again, other than Anna. Obviously, Anna's been doing it. I'm gonna have to actually go hard after Anna. That's what I'm gonna have to do. Like, it's not gonna be enough to just like she's screaming and throwing tantrums and stuff, and like calling me crazy and shit. So I'm gonna have to actually just get rid of her platform. It's the only way she's ever gonna stop. It's been 6 years at this point, daily for 6 years, and it's like I guess I don't know what else to do. You know what I mean? I honestly don't know what the fuck else to do. She's, crazy. She's crazy, and she makes everyone fucking crazy, and runs around and uses her subscriber count and influence to cause.
Okay, so just based off this, look, I'm not a huge fan of that Star Wars girl, but I do like Bearing. That wasn't Bearing talking, but it was someone, I guess, on his podcast or something. So I'm going to do a little bit more research on that. I'm going to mark that. I don't know. One, look, if that Star Wars girl is really being that much of an obsessive on things, don't openly say something like that, and certainly don't go all the quartering on it. But yeah, I'm gonna do a little bit more research on that, probably for next week's Sunday special. That might be something that we watch and then take whatever requests. But let's continue.
Video, all in all, I don't know, a couple of pointers that I disagree with as we go, but in all, I do agree absolutely that there is a very nefarious plot by the tech overlords and the government retards and the intelligence bitches to psyop you into believing in their false reality. I do believe very, very much that is something that they have actively been trying to do for a very long time, to normalize the abnormal, to basically make what should be considered taboo acceptable, and to create its own taboos. You're not allowed to recognize that your culture is superior. You're not allowed to recognize that Western civilization is fucking awesome, actually. You're not allowed to recognize
It is pretty
that
fucking
actually
awesome.
if a guy commits a crime, even if he's a minority, even if he's a black guy that suffered from systemic racism, you should just put him in jail, and it is his fault because he does have agency and he has free will. So yeah, realistically, this is a major issue, and it's something you have to be aware of, which is why I personally am very, very grateful, thank God, and I'm sure that some people are going to disagree with my stance, that we have something called the Bible, an ultimate truth, in my opinion, that was given to us by God via divine inspiration, and that is something that is objectively true. You could build your moral philosophies and your worldviews and your social arguments off of a foundation that you know is real, instead of off infinite lies and psyops from everywhere else.
Is real.
Coincidentally, are all constantly targeting the Bible. all right, and making religion look stupid and making it ridiculous to believe in Sky Daddy. That's my personal
Sky
stance.
Daddy.
And that's why it's the biggest threat to the worldview that they're trying to push on you, because you can't psyop people into, mistranslating the Bible at this point. It's the one foundation of truth that exists, and you could build off of it forever. That's why they hate it.
You can, and it's called
Because it's
non-denominational
uncorruptible.
church.
Evil can't create. It can only contort and corrupt. And we see that everywhere. The Odyssey. It's this ancient story, and it's currently being reworked and reimagined and recreated into propaganda slop about girl bosses and how actually Helen of Troy was a black queen from Africa. Anyway, that's just my thoughts at the end. Thanks for watching. Hope you enjoyed. Definitely subscribe. This was a fun deep dive. More deep dives to come. See you in the next one. Bye.
This is all of the Easter eggs.
All right, guys. Look, I had a great time. I love the engagement that we've had all this stream. So I'm going to do this more often. It'll be probably 11 o'clock Central Time-ish on Sundays. Maybe a little earlier, depending on what the goings on. But that's the time I'm going to shoot for. So 11 o'clock Central Time. Yanuka, I think that's, like 7 p.m.-ish for you? Maybe like 6. But yeah, I think it was pretty good. We had a all in all good show today. This is what the weekend's material is going to be. This, and I'm going to get back into gaming as well. And then little by little, that's going to morph over into the weekday show. It's going to be about an hour and a half, 2 hours of this. And then on the weekend, we'll have the actual what the associated guest was originally supposed to be, which is kind of like The Onion or Babylon Bee, which a little bit of Norm Macdonald weekend update in there, but that's the general premise for what eventually probably here. It's gonna take a little bit of time, but I'm gonna stick it out, and that'll probably be VOD. So when those drop, those will more than likely be VOD. But I appreciate you guys. Yanuka, you're my rock. Missed Shapeshifter today, but hopefully she's watching on a repeat. But it's been a lot of fun. To the rest of you, the people that popped in earlier, what was it? Boney Miguel, thanks for the follow. K King Pop made it. Appreciate y'all for stopping by for the first half of the show. And yeah, everyone just do me a favor, drop a like. It helps grow the show. And yeah, we'll see you tomorrow morning for the weekday show. Until then, I've been Alfie Animus. This has been the Associated Guest. You guys have been awesome.